Obviously, if somebody suffers from OCD, we always say that not only do they suffer from OCD, but so does the family. And families are always wanting to help, and they really don't know what to do, right? Because if they really try to push the person, it just seems like they're getting really anxious and overwhelmed. And then if they're not pushing the person, it looks like they're just taking over the family. And then there's the whole problem of like the family doesn't understand what OCD is. Because I can use these words, but they don't really have the experience because they're going like, well, that makes no sense. But if you could get your family member to watch this, we can give them the experience of having OCD. So right now, what I would want is that if somebody's watching this, I'd want them to get a pencil and paper and to actually do that, because it's critical that they don't just listen to this. So go get a pencil and paper. All right, so you have your pencil and paper, and what I'd like you to write down is a sentence. I'd like you to write down that I want, and write the name down of somebody who's really dear to you, who you love, and do that. And now I want you to write down to die a horrible, painful death. Now, I don't know how many of you followed this instruction, but what we find most of the time is some of you will not have written it down. Some of you will have written it down and maybe you want to tear it up. And I would ask you, either of you, why didn't you write it down? Why do you want to tear it up? We've offered you this opportunity to understand the problem and you're wanting to do something about it. And so when we ask people this question, they'll often say, well, it's a horrible thought. Do you think writing down is going to make it happen? Why would you want to tear it up? Is that going to make it go away? Right? The thought's still there. What is bad about having it written down? Or again, why wouldn't you write it down in the first place? If you wrote it down, would you be willing to carry this paper in a wallet for a week? And if you say to me no, then my question is why? And the answers are often like, well, somebody might see it in my wallet. And my question is, how often do people go in your wallet? What if my loved one sees it? Well, can't you tell them you were doing this exercise? So in this little exercise, if you really did this, what you find is this made you uncomfortable and you don't have OCD. You'll forget this in an hour. But if I suffer from OCD, this is my life 24/7. I don't get to walk away from it. So next time when you're saying something doesn't seem rational, remember how this made you uncomfortable and you don't even have the problem.